It's Jack's birthday and things are getting extra wet. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What I did there.
Oh my God,
birthdays. We're getting nice and wet.
Doesn't surprise me.
Birthday suit.
Oh, happy birthday,
Yes,
Jack.
happy birthday, Jack. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Will and Grace After Show. We are here with the full panel tonight.
We are. Woo.
So excited. We had a great break. Now we're back for some humor and laughter.
Yes.
I'm Louiza Shar, and I am here with my amazing panel tonight.
Yes, I'm Cristal McLaughlin.
Hey guys, I'm Mayte Carrillo, and we have our live chat up, so if you guys want to chime in and join the conversation,
Yeah, hit
I'll
her
be looking
up.
for that,
Yeah, she
yeah.
has her phone out. We are typing and texting and looking at everything that you're saying. So tonight's episode was, fairly funny, a bit mellow than what we're used to,
Yes.
right? But overall thoughts about tonight.
I wasn't that impressed with the episode. I'm surprised that they had... Okay.
Sorry.
We're agreeing with you. That's our way of agreeing.
I'm sorry, trying to be nice, but go
I was
ahead.
like, what is happening?
sorry. Okay.
So, what I found funny though, I'll say what I found funny first. So I found what was funny was the situation with the Professor Rice.
Yes.
I thought that was hilarious. That was something new. Everything else I could have just done without. So yeah.
Totally.
yeah, there was a lot going on. I think when it's someone's birthday, especially Jack's, I would like for that to be just the entire episode.
Extravaganza.
Right, like I would have wanted all of them to
Be
be
together.
right, and celebrating. I don't know why they just separate them individually and say these two are going to pair up and those two are going to pair up together.
I agree, because wasn't there a similar situation recently that, again, they were split up? Was it a shower? What was it? Funeral?
I can't remember exactly what it was, but they were spread out, and we even complained during that episode as well. Wasn't it like they did the karaoke thing?
Yes,
It was a karaoke, right?
It's like, why isn't that foursome there? They keep on splitting it, right? And
Hey, you know what? Maybe the work hours for them on set is really what it comes down to. It has
Maybe.
nothing to do with the actual story itself,
that's true too. But like for me, this episode, I feel like it lacked that Will and Grace luster that we're so used to.
No politics, nothing.
No,
it was weird. It wasn't like their usual.
Yeah. And then also the jokes, because you and me,
okay.
we like all three of us
Yeah.
when we watch it, we're like laughing out
Laughing.
loud. So maybe it's
Sorry.
like a different
You're okay.
turn that they're doing. But yeah. So it's Jack's birthday, and they open up talking about how they got him this unicorn massage chair, which is so hilarious. And
Is it really though?
I
I was like,
a unicorn
okay,
massage
like,
chair. You didn't think it was funny?
I don't think it was that funny.
I just
No.
think they said unicorn and then massage chair, and I was like, okay, it's a good start, I guess. But then they just kept
Yeah,
it at that
yeah.
level the
Yeah,
entire
it was like
time.
me for me.
The only thing about that scene was funny when Karen said, "Does yours talk?"
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you
that
know
was
what I
funny.
mean? Like
yeah,
the
but that's what made it
competition.
even worse is that she tried to one up it, and it wasn't even
I
funny.
thought actually made it better. You thought it
No.
made
I
it
thought
worse?
that part was funny.
It made it
Really?
better.
No, I was just like, oh, they're still with
You were,
that
like,
joke.
over it already.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
you were
totally
over it,
I was
yeah.
so over it.
Yeah, and then they open up talking about his birthday and how Esteban is going to be on this global working thing, right? So, of course, Karen decides to take him out, and then we know the history between them. There's jealousy, as we see how it also unfolds. So they go to dinner and all of that. So how did you guys think Jack portrayed that? Because he was stuck in the middle.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I think it was very much like an old sitcom show from way back when. I can't even think of any on the top of my head, but it just it gave me that old feel, like Cara Burnett type of feel.
Yeah.
So I loved that. I thought that was hilarious. I loved, his the way that he moves,
Juggling it.
Yeah, just everything, even down to his facial expressions. I mean, he stole that entire scene.
Yeah.
So I have to say I liked that scene.
Yeah.
At least for Jack himself.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody else was kind of
Secondary,
out of the
yeah.
out of the spotlight.
Which one? What scene are you talking about?
When they went to the restaurant.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that Jack has a little bit of spice to him every time he's with Stefan.
Yes.
It's like he moves a little bit more, and he's so flirtatious.
más.
Yeah, and he's so committed to his character, and Stefan does a really good job too of being, as a couple with him.
Yes.
But I think one thing that really did stand out to me in that part was how this kind of reminded me of Mrs. Doubtfire.
Okay.
Did you guys ever watch that
yeah.
movie? Yeah, where it was a lot of going back and forth, and I already knew what was going to happen.
Yep.
So because I'm such a fan of that movie, so for me it was just like, okay, when something's eventually, they're both gonna end up finding out. I just want to see how this ends, and I think it was epic the fact that they both just jumped into that pond together, and then that guy was his name Max or Rex,
The side guy, kind of
Right.
like
Rex.
AKA Johnny.
Yes, Rex.
just pushed him,
Yeah.
to the pond. That was hilarious.
And that's what's funny. I mean, it's all about communication. We all know that there's jealousy involved with that friendship and all of that. But you think it's fair for Karen to be a bit insecure, knowing that it is for the greater good? Like, Jack is in love with someone and getting married.
It's appropriate for Karen.
Yeah.
I mean, does that surprise me? No.
Yeah.
I think it's inevitable when you've been friends with someone for such a long time.
Yeah.
You kind of get a little bit of jealous when
yeah.
you know that they're gonna spend more, especially a birthday.
Yeah.
It's like, really.
Can I just say something? Not to interrupt, but
Yeah.
I think it totally. When you said that, I was like, this is my friend Samantha Gaona.
Shout out
to Samantha.
I've known her since the 3rd grade. All my
No
friends, I've
way.
known them all
That's
since
the
like around the
best.
3rd grade.
That doesn't
and
last.
I swear
It does.
to this day, she's like, just so you know, you're
does for her.
my best friend. Why are you hanging out with those people? I'm like, you know, I love you. I always have to like
Yeah.
pet her ego. She knows it though. It's like a funny thing for us. We laugh about it.
Of course.
But yeah, Samantha all the way.
Well, it's a territorial thing
It
too.
is.
And the only thing is, like, once we realize that each friend represents a different world,
Yes.
we'll be at ease. Like,
Can I just
Yes.
also insert what I thought
Yeah.
about was I think she's so jealous is because Stan's not there. That was the first thing that came to mind. I go, oh, she feels lonely now because
course.
Stan's not there, and she's missing like a huge part, right, of herself, which is love. And now
Yeah.
he's found love, and so she's like feeling sort of left out.
Well, it's funny you say being left out, because the last episode we see Will kind of had that feeling too. Like they both got high, and then they drank that milk, and they were all hallucinating. They had that conversation where it's, "Are you gonna leave me when you're married?"
Yeah.
So each character feels like they're losing Jack,
Yeah.
which is so bittersweet.
Yeah,
right?
I think I was okay seeing that with Will, that whole interaction between them, but I don't think it was necessary to see that with Karen, because
Yeah.
Karen does what she wants to do.
Yes.
And regardless if there's somebody else in the picture, she's still gonna put her foot in and
Yeah.
say what she thinks and be there and be the third wheel or
Yeah.
whatever she needs to
And
be.
that's the dynamic of them. It's always going to be that third wheel.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah.
I mean, and just like we always want them to have that like 4-person setting, sometimes you always see it's Karen and Jack branching out, but now it's like Esteban's going to be there.
Yeah, and I do have to say, we keep seeing Karen's really vulnerable side.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's every
weird.
episode. It's so weird. I'm just like,
It's not
oh
kosher.
gosh, what did
Oh
she
my
say?
God.
She's like, I need you in my life. I'm like, oh, I felt that, Karen.
Yeah.
Stop it. I don't want to feel that.
And she said that because, she couldn't even handle to walk out anymore. Like, she was vulnerable. She was at that low point. I said, don't you dare leave me right now. Like, I need you in my life,
Yeah.
But that's beautiful to lean on someone like that.
to admit it, too.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
have to think about though too that Jack has always given her sort of like put her on a pedestal, right?
course.
She's always been like there for him, and he's like her little puppy, and like her little puppy is like leaving, the doghouse. I guess I don't know.
She's the hag. She's the hag.
Yeah.
I'm a hag.
Yeah,
Of course. I'm
okay.
my bestie
Okay.
George. Like, I've been a hag for 8 years already. Like, I
So
absolutely.
what would you define a hag?
Like a hag? I mean, it's like you're
I
the
should
best
look
friend.
this up. It
I
is?
don't-
Is that
Isn't
what
it?
it means? Let
For
me
like
look
me,
this
I feel
up.
like
It's not a
hag is
bad
like you're
word.
haggard, like nobody.
No, like that's your bestie. Like that's your other
I guess
half.
that's just maybe in the like.
Wait, what is it?
A hag says it's a witch, especially one in the form of an ugly old woman.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not that. You're probably looking at the wrong
Oh.
dictionary at Wikipedia, or what is that?
No, like that's what a hag means. So that's what I was saying. So like, I think I know what they're trying to say because they always say the F word hag. You know what I'm
Like-
saying? I'm not gonna say that
Oh,
word.
yes.
So that's
Okay.
why he said it.
I've always think it's like a really bad connotation. Hag.
For
It
me, it was
is.
always
Same.
positive. Like, that's the bestie. But, I'm straight, and, like, that's my gay bestie. Like,
I think
we're
maybe
not
between
dating.
you and your friend, but never to admit that to everyone else.
But like
Yes.
everyone, I mean, whatever. That's just me, and we're great. So
Yeah.
thanks for asking. Just like not that you did, but okay. So before we tackle the other topics tonight, Crystal has some stuff to share.
I do, everybody. Hey guys, before we move on to our next topic, we just wanted to say thank you for making us the ESPN of Talk TV or TV Talk. For us to continue to grow, we could really use your help. If you are on YouTube right now, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you are on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating, right guys?
Yes,
But no matter where you are, please leave us a comment so you can get involved with our conversation. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us, and we truly do appreciate you supporting us in doing what we love, and we really do love it. Don't forget to tell your friends and keep enjoying our shows. I hope you guys are also tuning into the live feed because, like I said, we're here. We want to talk with you. We want to hear what you guys are saying. And, you know, this is just something we love to share with you.
And thank you for subscribing, commenting, all of that. We are a
Absolutely.
buffet of TV shows. Anything you like, you can subscribe and listen and watch and all of that. Okay, this is my favorite part of the show. Like, Will, you know, Professor Rice and Grace. So Will comes home pretty upset finding out that he's not going to get a full-time position. So, of course, ends up, you know, inviting him over for dinner to, you know, butter things up. And then, you know, first of all, before he actually has that fake moment where he dies, well, his blood pressure, what did you think about that? Like him being so upset about that position?
I felt for him, but more I was just like, what's going to happen because Grace is involved. That was like my first thought. Like, she is going to like do something and it's going to probably be something stupid and I cannot wait to watch. That's what I was thinking. Like, that was
Grace.
Yeah, like I just was like, oh, they're setting it up. It's going to be so good. I can already tell. It reminded me of like so many old shows, right? So Bernie, like what was that movie with Bernie where he's Drop Dead Bernie or Drop Dead Bernie. Anyways, there's an old show, an old movie with a character named Bernie, and he dies, and then they take him around and basically like hold him up, and like every
What's
time.
the name? I have to watch
forget
that.
the name of it. I can't think of it
You
right
have to
now.
Google it later.
But basically, they play with him being dead, and he moves around with like music and stuff. And so it sort of brought me back to that movie, and it was really funny just watching them just go to that extra extreme like place. But we'll go into that in a minute.
The first thing that came to mind when all of this happened was like, okay, maybe because he said it's my wife. So when he picked up the phone, I thought his wife is divorcing him. He just found out some terrible news, and he kind of fainted. And
Interesting.
yeah, there was that connection. So I kept on wondering, well, what's on his phone? Like, I thought they were going to say why he fainted.
Or like what triggered him to like drop
him.
dead like that.
Right, yeah. So that's why I was curious, and that's all I kept on thinking about. So that was kind of an unclosed remark.
I mean,
that they
for
had.
me, it was so funny because, okay, he ends up, you know, falling on the floor and he, you know, passes out. But the extreme levels that Grace and Will try to plot this. So, first of all,
So good.
this is also the power of technology, the power of iPhones,
Yes.
the power of all of that. How, I mean, there's still ways to get in, even though it's like you have your face thing and like
my roommate has that phone, so it made me laugh when I saw the front
fa-
of it. I was like, I know this phone. And then
the
when,
face thing.
yes, and
I have
me
it
too. I just
too.
got it 2 days ago. But
Oh no, I've had it. Yeah.
I didn't set that up.
it's a Samsung phone.
Oh, no,
yeah,
this is
no, his is
iPhone.
a Samsung phone, and it was set up for that. Like I remember him showing it to me. So the minute I saw it, I was like, no, they're not doing that. Like I was like, oh, okay, they're gonna do the thumb. And then when she said the face, I was like, oh my god, no.
It's crazy because with like my phone, I have the iPhone X, and with that, I wear contacts every day. Without my contacts, I can't open my phone. So I have to have my contacts on because that's
What?
the way that I programmed
You
it.
can't change it?
I could change
Ever?
it, but I
Oh
have
my
to take
God.
off my contacts. But I always wear my contacts.
What a hassle, though.
So yeah,
Imagine if he didn't have his contacts on.
then they were not able to get in.
No, but like the level of like, first of all, the bond and the friendship that they have, like to do that, like because that's illegal. If things were to happen like that,
yeah.
like if someone's dying, you get the phone, use that, and then you know give yourself a position. Like
They look at the times when he passed away, when the
Like-
sex was like. I've been watching a lot of murder mystery shows
well, she's-
lately. This is
oh, real-
above
that-
and beyond.
Then you should bestie up with her.
I know.
That's all she watches
It's
at
so
home.
Oh
scary.
my God.
It's so scary.
She'll be up at 11 p.m. while eating pizza and watching. What is that?
Dateline, girl.
Girl.
You ain't knowing.
No, it's scary.
But okay, so going
Yeah,
back,
sorry.
so going
But-
back to that part, I thought it was hilarious because I was like, okay, she's ready to like be Hannibal Lecter, like with that whole scissor. I don't know
Melon
what that
popper,
was.
what did she
the
say?
melon popper, the chicken cutter, whatever thing. She was ready to take his thumb off. I mean, they were going to extremes. But, like, that's true friendship right there. That's all I kept thinking was like, that's a ride or die.
For me, the perfect moment was when Grace inserted her contribution.
Oh yeah.
That is amazing. That's
delete, and then he's like, and donations, and
Like,
it's like,
oh,
so
yeah.
you didn't delete.
That's the highlight of the episode.
Yeah.
that
I think
was
for her
funny.
to even think about that.
She looked amazing too, by the way. Did you notice? Like, she looked like extra amazing this episode. Like, she
I think
looked.
it was the jewelry. I don't know what
The
it
hair
was.
was
The
half
glow.
up. I think it was the half up
Half up.
hair. She usually has it in her face. She looked amazing. She looked. I don't know. I mean, they always look amazing, but
You
they
know,
look
it's
Extra today.
It's funny you say that because I thought Will looked aesthetically so great. First of all, he was tan and he had like extra Botox and then like his face, like his shirt was
Even
blue.
Jack.
I
was
thought
just
Jack
like,
looked way
God.
extra.
Me
Like
too.
his
No,
face,
Jack was too plump. Like
it was,
that
it was a little too
plump.
much.
It,
Yeah.
it was a little bit, but I didn't mind.
Yeah,
I didn't mind it
all the
either.
money they have. Come on, just insert the injections.
I would
please.
too.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they always say like it's good to start Botox at a younger age.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
But I mean, overall, I think it just showed how much that Will it was hurt by the fact that he might not have this position. And
My
go
question
ahead.
to you is, why do you think? I get it. He's like super into this position, but like, why all of a sudden? What was it? I know he said at the end that he didn't realize how much he loved it until he got into it. But I wonder, like, what it was, like, what about it that made him feel that way? I mean, he really took this very personal. Is it because? Did he take it personal because he can't have a no because he's a lawyer? That's his lawyer way, or is it because he's truly passionate about it? I mean, obviously he cried. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what is that about? Is it going to lead to something else?
Okay.
Like, there's something there.
do you think it's because they never set the tone for him loving, like being in that position and realizing that this is what he wanted to do?
I don't know.
I think
I'm
it's
trying to
passion
figure that out.
because he said, "My 20 years of practicing." This is the only time I'm so in love and passionate about law, and it comes through teaching. Because through teaching, he's been educating himself to see how the law is not taking place in a lot of ways.
Yes.
So now he's like, for 20 years, I've been busting my behind trying to get all these corporate agreements to win all these, irrelevant cases.
Yeah.
Nothing too
Okay.
important. But now there's morals involved, there's intellect involved, and I think he's teaching these kids all these things that the law
Yeah.
has not helped with.
Yeah.
So I think that's where
Okay.
he feels like he has purpose now.
Yeah. My question, though, to you is, do you think it's setting it up for something? Because, like, that's the thing I don't really care for about this show is that sometimes they just bring up stuff just to bring it up. And there's no segue to some other, like, part of a different episode or, or there's no reason for it. So I'm just hoping maybe, like, I don't know. I mean, he'll
like,
be the dean. I don't
or
know.
running for office.
You
or
know
something
what?
Like that?
Based on the taping that
I was just
Louisa
thinking
and
that,
I
yeah.
watched, yes. The answer is it leads to
Oh,
something
it
else.
does.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
there's
So
a
does.
connection that is that's made. Yeah, during that time.
Yeah.
put my thinking cap
You
on
do?
sometimes.
Well, you even have it on tonight,
Sometimes.
literally.
You literally have it on tonight.
But no, yeah, it does lead to something that's gonna wait a bit more, and you'll see that it's
Yeah.
not just like a dialogue in the script or all that. But
Yeah.
he just feels like he's coming alive, and I read a lot. Sometimes like,
Well, because Rice wasn't.
well, he wasn't that happy, right? He was just kind of like mentally turned off.
Yeah.
a little bitter.
Yeah, but then also, do you think that was real tears? Did we figure out if that was Will really crying?
So
Yeah, I believe
think
it.
so. And by the
Okay.
way, that film was Weekend at Bernie's. If anybody,
I'm
There you
gonna
go.
write that down.
so funny.
And I'm gonna watch
Text you
it.
later.
I like how like you said earlier, you noticed something about Mrs. Doubtfire. I noticed something about, Weekend at Bernie's. So they're probably bringing back some old,
The great
sitcom stuff.
classics.
The classics, yeah. And I mean, I do appreciate that because at the end of the day, like that was the foundation of what TV was,
Absolutely.
And that was like the good stuff. So kudos to them for
And
that.
speaking
at
of,
least.
speaking of TV classics and all of that, we can even talk about our special segment right now. I mean,
Yes.
our news and gossip,
Yes.
which has to do with Karen hosting the SAG Awards
Yes.
a week ago. And it's so funny because last week I told Mayte, I'm like, there's some fun news about the SAG Awards I want to share, and I couldn't find it. So basically, we all know Smitty, right?
Yes. He showed up.
The old bartender
Yes.
that always caters to Karen. So if we look at the screen right now, he made a fun little cameo appearance
So funny.
at the SAG Awards. And what was so funny, not funny, but a fun fact that Karen posted on Instagram. So Smitty's real name is Charles Stevenson III.
Okay.
And check this out, ladies. So he's 88, but he started acting at the age of 46.
What?
And when
Proves you're never too old then.
beautiful, right?
Right.
So he's 88, and his first gig was at 46. He's a comedian actor, and when
That's
SAG,
like Samuel L. Jackson. He
yes,
started later in life.
a lot of great actors have. How
Wow.
cute is that? And then Megan
him.
posted how when they asked him to be involved, he was so thrilled, and afterwards sent her a beautiful vase of flowers.
Aww.
How fun is that, right?
He should have sent that with like a bottle of vodka.
Well, I'm sure that's what she's drinking right now, or whatever. But that just I love how award shows do this.
Yeah.
They kind of unite the two characters.
And I love when they bring in people who are like, the elderly. Let's just be honest. I
Hell
mean, you don't
yeah.
see a ton of that, right?
Absolutely.
In film, and I feel like now they're making it more and more like
Oh, I love
Yeah.
it.
a thing.
And like Megan she was just great. I think she was a bit of more herself. We're so used to the high pitch Karen, and that's what we talked about. You watched the SAG Awards. Like she was just kind of like in her kind of put together zone. I don't know. I wanted more of Karen.
Yeah, like I said, I wanted her to come out as Karen.
Yeah.
There was a moment I wanted her to pick up
Yeah.
a martini and start talking and have a conversation. But this and the fact that she involved someone from the show and everybody could kind of make that connection, it was like a heartwarming
It was
sense.
amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It was nice.
That's awesome.
And all the award shows coming up. We have the Grammys on Sunday. And we have the Oscars coming up. I love award shows. So I'm so
too.
excited. Okay, ladies. So now I think it's time for predictions. Yes. I have a great
And
prediction.
now,
I don't know why I always want to do
AfterBuzz
this
TV.
when I hear that.
It's because it's the alien effect.
Yeah. Okay, Mayte, you want to kick this off?
I predict that Karen will start dating, and we'll probably see that within the next few episodes. And hopefully, it's not secluded to where Jack is the only one that's being involved in this,
Right.
And that everybody is pretty much involved in her whole
Yeah,
dating
yeah.
and treating guys like nothing.
The best Karen way.
Yeah.
Yep.
I predict the opposite.
Oh!
I predict that Karen will become such a nuisance to those two when they're like wedding planning, like kind of like, like a mother-in-law, like monster-in-law or something like that.
I see
Yeah.
that. I see that.
I could totally see that.
Okay, first of all, adding on to that, where's Noah?
I was wondering
Where is
that.
Noah?
Oh my God, that's a good one.
Like, I was happy for Grace because things were evolving. The daughter was in the picture, and that kind of like,
He got booked on
subsided.
another show.
You think so?
I mean, Hollywood, hello.
She should have called Noah for help.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But like, that's my thing, I guess, for the next few episodes: the return of Noah, but also the appearance of Will's special person that we're still waiting to see. Right? Because we talked about a few weeks ago how Will's going to have a love interest, and all he does is teach. It's like, go on a date or something.
Maybe it'll be one of his students, and it's a naughty thing he's not supposed to be involved in.
Oh!
That's a great prediction.
I don't know, but so that's basing it on Will and Grace. But as far as Jack, so with Jack and Estefan, let's see what happens. I don't know about them getting married. Something's so fishy.
No, something's not right.
He's just too all over the place, traveling all the time. Come on.
I feel like they need to insert him a little bit more, and like I get it, he's traveling. Woohoo! Look at him with
Cincinnati
his little,
and
his
LaGuardia.
suitcase. I mean, he's funny. I like him. I just feel like maybe. I don't know. Maybe like keep him in the apartment every time he pops, like Jack pops into the apartment, he's there drinking like a margarita or something. Like just something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Totally.
I feel like I need a little more consistency with him for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, before we wrap this up, we did skip our special segment, and we're not. So let's definitely mention a few quotes that we liked throughout the night.
Sure.
Yeah, we cannot end it without that. Cause
I really,
Yes. You're
yeah.
taking it backwards, Steph. My bad, girl.
I love when Karen said to Esteban, tapas who's abotamus.
Hey.
That
Love
was
that.
funny.
Love that.
And then I loved when Esteban said, "Chorizo, your cake is here." And the cake sounded like something else, which I'm not going to mention. And then when Karen said, "Oh, this is like the best part," I felt like when we were talking about like the very beginning, when like the first
restaurant.
No. Prior to that, like when
Yeah.
they first set up the show, I thought this was the best part of that setup, and it was when Karen walked in. She goes, "Oh, hey kids, love your new place."
Oh, yeah.
So out of it. I love it.
I thought that was so funny. That made me laugh so hard.
Typical
that's,
Karen.
Yes. Yes.
Love it. Awesome.
Mine was kind of similar to Crystal's, and it was Esteban when he said, "Oh, my sweet chorizo, I found you."
Love it.
Yeah, and then Karen, when they're in the restaurant, she says, "A woman was choking in the bathroom. Took me forever to get around her." I'm like, oh god. And I
So
love
bad.
too how Jack and Karen, they both looked so put together and
Right,
nicely
in the
dressed for a
suit.
birthday dinner. I'm like, yes, I want everybody to dress up like that for my birthday.
Slim
you know?
fit,
Yeah.
nice, and that suit, amazing. Well, I love those. I have to add, when Will said in the kitchen, when they were talking about like discussing different conversations or whatever, he goes like, all we do is talk about gluten or Putin. Love that. And then when Karen
There's
said,
your politics,
right,
Louiza.
very, very subtle. And in the restaurant, I don't know what she was trying to aim for, but she's like, I have to head to the bathroom to powder the inside of my nose. So it's like,
funny.
okay,
Yeah.
you know, that's
Yep.
funny. And then, oh my gosh, when Professor Rice was on the floor acting dead, when Will and Grace, they were trying to like plan their thing, and then he goes like, we can't? Can we?
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
It was.
And then, gosh, so many, but that is great. I know. In the meantime, where can everyone find you, ladies?
Yes, I'm Cristal McLaughlin. You can find me on all social media at Cristal with an I 823. Cristal with an I 823. I hope you guys tune in next week. We'll be here waiting. Get into the live fade.
Yes. Hey everyone, my name is Mayte Carrillo. You can find me everywhere at This Is Mayte.
And I'm Louiza Shar. You can find me also on Instagram and Twitter at Louiza Shar. And me and Crystal will be on the finale of Informer Tuesday night. So tune in.
At 5 p.m.
Yeah, I was going to say
yes.
7 at 5.
At 5 p.m. No, actually, yeah,
No,
we do.
5 p.m.
Yeah,
with
5
Nina
p.m.
and Tehran. Okay, we will see you all next week.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.